What's up, everyone? I'm Brooke Vokes, and this is East Cooper Student News. Here's what's coming up on the show today. This past weekend marked 20 years since the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Several Wando teachers remember that day. Plus, an inside look at the students who keep athletes healthy.
They are able to help us out in the clinic itself, doing rehab, and then they also help us during game time.
And finally, Fine Arts is back. We'll tell you what's coming up. It's September 15th, 2021, and this is a spot for all student news east of the Cooper River. Welcome both Wando and Lucy Beckham to the show. My name is Brooke Vokes. This past weekend marked 20 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks. It was a day many people in the United States said they'd never forget. Now, 20 years later, several Wando teachers remember that day like it was yesterday. ECSN reporter Anthony Molavade has their stories.
What's up, everyone? What's up?
The morning of September 11th was like any other. Children and adults doing their normal routines, going to school, a 9 to 5. Life was normal, or as normal as life can be. New York and the rest of the nation had no idea that life was about to change drastically, that September 11th was going to mark the beginning of a war on terror. Disaster strikes. Marking the beginning of a new future for the United States and the world. Several Wando teachers remember exactly how they felt on September 11th, 20 years ago. Here are their stories on 9/11.
I mean, it was crazy. It was all over the news, and I remember seeing it for the first time. And when you're 9 years old, like, something like that doesn't make sense to you. And at the time, my dad was a firefighter, and so all I could imagine was, like, if he had to be there or if he would have been there. And my uncle was a mailman, and he worked right by the train station, and a lot of people took the train into the city, and, you know, weeks would go by and their cars were still there and parking tickets were on their windshield wipers because they were part of the 9/11 attack and just never made it home. My dad did go, you know, later for the cleanup. He had some firemen that went, and they currently have lung cancer, all of these health issues from all of the debris and everything. And we've gone back to the 9/11 memorial. I've done a few races for it. And when you go, you just see this wall of all of the victims, and my dad can pick out a handful of people that he knew.
I saw them all live. So we watched them from beginning to end, from the time the first plane was coming close to the buildings until the last plane went down in Pennsylvania. So all day long we were watching those. The first reaction was bewilderment. It was clear that this was no accident. Then it kind of turned to panic. Everyone knew somebody that they were worried about. And actually, the phone lines crashed that day. So all afternoon, I was trying to reach, particularly my dad, who traveled for work, and calls wouldn't go through. I also had an uncle who, at the time, was a firefighter in DC. So when the Pentagon was struck, I was worried about him. He said the Pentagon burned for several months, that they were responding every day to more fires. There was a lot of jet fuel. Everyone knew somebody that lost someone. So New Yorkers felt very deflated. We felt violated. And I think as a nation, there were some conflicting emotions after that. One was outrage and shock. But on a more positive note, it did kind of gel Americans together. It was nice to see afterwards so many people flying the flag and talking about us as a nation being Americans.
When I was actually watching live and saw that the moment the second plane had hit the second tower, you just never really thought that was going to happen in your country where you lived. You've never seen anything like that, and you never expect to see anything like that. And as shocking and alarming and as hard as it is to see that, there's almost a sense of you that you realize how significant what you're watching is. You know that you're witnessing something that will change your life and the life of those in our country forever.
Thanks, Anthony. September 11th is a day that the country will never forget. Our show is produced by the East Cooper Center for Advanced Studies, and earlier this year, one teacher here started her year with a big honor. One of Charleston County's best rookies is right here at the East Cooper Center for Advanced Studies. Mrs. Schultz was named one of the 2020-2021 Rookie Teachers of the Year on August 26th. She teaches horticulture at the East Cooper CAS and says she is honored to receive the award.
And especially being awarded with being a horticulture teacher, which is, such a unique program. It's indescribable. I just feel very, very honored and blessed and humbled and all the things.
Mrs. Schultz was nominated by the East Cooper CAS Principal Blankenship. All of the rookie teachers were nominated because they have embraced their students and the Charleston community. The nominees were then rated by a team of veteran educators who selected 4 rookie teachers across the district. Congratulations, Mrs. Schultz. Mrs. Schultz isn't the only teacher getting honored. Mr. Scholander was named the East Cooper CAS Teacher of the Month for August.
I really appreciate the support that the administration and teachers, faculty, staff, especially the engineering team.
From teachers to students, ECSN reporter Devin Nadelstump tells us more about one Bengal getting recognized here at the CAS in today's Bengal Beat.
What's up, Beckham? I'm Devin Nadelstump with this week's Bengal Beat. First up, a Beckham Bengal is the first student spotlight at the CAS this school year. Emma Bluestein was nominated for the Student Spotlight Award by Mr. Sneed. She's in the Pre-Medicine Academy studying medical intervention.
Right now we're learning about how to find patient zero and diagnose people, so it's really cool.
Emma was an easy nomination, an absolutely amazing student, always engaged, adds to conversations, does her work.
And last month, Beckham's personal finance teacher, Mr. Joy, was mentioned in an Associated Press news article. The article says because of the pandemic, more students are interested in financial responsibility. The article talked about how Mr. Joy gives his students budgeting examples in class, and then had students figure out how they would spend their money if their budget was cut in half. Mr. Joy also sponsors the Young Investors Society at Beckham. If you want to learn more, get in touch with him. That's it for this week's Bengal Beat. If you have a story for us, shoot our teacher, Mr. Fabs, an email at the address on your screen, or message us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Devin Nadelstump, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Devin. Just across the street from us, Wando is gearing up for homecoming next week. Our Wando reporter, Katie Miller, is back with everything you need to know about homecoming week in this week's Tribe Talk.
Hey Wando, I'm Katie Miller with the latest edition of Tribe Talk. Homecoming week is next week, and the best way to get involved is participating in the Spirit Week days.
Homecoming week starts Monday, September 20th. This year's theme is music. Monday is Justin Timberlake, wear your best denim. Tuesday is Beach Boys, wear your wildest Hawaiian. Wednesday is Marshmallow, wear your brightest neon. Thursday is Darius Rucker, wear your best country. Friday is Wando, wear all your Wando gear.
Teachers will be keeping an eye out and passing out tickets to students who are dressed up each day during third period of second block. If you get a ticket, place it in your grade level bucket in the rotunda for a competition between classes. The winner will get Krispy Kreme donuts. Homecoming isn't complete without a homecoming court. This year, there are 6 nominees for both King and Queen. We'll be able to vote using Google Forms sent to your school email, so keep an eye out in your inbox. The homecoming game is currently scheduled for September 24th against Stahl. ECSN will let you know if anything gets changed on Instagram and Twitter. Lastly, the rise in COVID cases means the homecoming dance will not happen next week. Organizers hope to reschedule the dance for later in the year. That's all for Tribe Talk this week. I'm Katie Miller, reporting for ECSN.
Thanks, Katie. Fine arts are also picking back up at Wando. Last month, the theater department held auditions for their fall play. The show is called Murder Medium Rare. It's an improv dinner theater show, and you'll be able to see it on October 29th. And from the stage to the sideline, the CAS and Wando have a student athletic training program through interns that work. Last week, our reporter got a chance to share their experience. Cesar Enriquez has more.
On game days, before athletes show up here, they show up here, in the athletic training room, where other kids are learning to treat patients.
My favorite parts of the program are definitely that everyone is really nice, and so you kind of all become a giant group of friends.
The program she's talking about is the Athletic Training Student Aid program. One of the people who runs that program is Miss Parker.
I've always wanted to work with high school level athletes, so I figured this was the best setting for me.
And that setting is to run a program that helps students learn how to be an athletic trainer.
I also really like dealing with the medical side of things and seeing new injuries and how to deal with them.
Right now, 8 kids are enrolled in an internship program called Interns at Work. They work on the same things athletic trainers do, and they get 120 hours of work experience.
They are able to help us out in the clinic itself doing rehab, and then they also help us during game time to hydrate the athletes and eval the injuries that occur on game days.
While there's craziness going on around you, people are coming up to you asking for water or asking for help with bleeding and stuff, and you have to work on your feet and fix the problem.
Ms. Parker says the internship program is looking for any student interested in the medical field and invites them to come talk to her.
It's a great experience. Our kids have so much fun. Just try it out. It can never hurt to at least experience different things.
If you're looking for a place to get involved, this might be it. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Caesar Enquist.
Thanks, Caesar. If you want to learn more, you can see Miss Parker in room K223 at the CAS. Before we end the show here, we have a couple of things to share on our Wando Club calendar. Breakfast Club meets every Monday morning at 7:45 in room H228. Ping Pong Club meets every Thursday morning in the E100 hallway downstairs. And Wando Advanced Robotics Club meets every Monday and Wednesday from 3:45 to 6 p.m. in room E109. That's it for this episode. I'm Brooke Vokes, signing off for ECSN.